Hello everybody, I'm Roxanne Tanner from Oaklawn Anywhere, joined by Jared Welch from the Racing Dudes, and we're here to talk about everything 3-year-old colts and geldings. So let's start off with the biggest race this weekend. Of course, the Grade 1 Haskell bumped up by $750,000, now worth, what, $1,750,000, somewhere in there? So we've got pretty much the standout horse in America right now, America's horse, American Pharoah. Is he going to get beat, Jared?
No, not at all. Triple Crown winner, of course, coming back to the track is rare enough, and I think he's going to put on a show. I think they ran, in the Haskell for obvious reasons, but it is the Zayat's home track. They're from New Jersey, so I think they wanted to bring him home, in a way, and show him to the fans. So I just see this as a little bit of an exhibition.
Has definitely been working very forwardly for this race. We got a couple of horses that we think are confirmed, but they're entered in a couple other races. Pletcher has got Competitive Edge, who he's kind of teetered, or pretty much hinted that that's the one he's going to send in, but also Stanford's been mentioned. Competitive Edge last time out was a disappointing second, or actually didn't even hit the board in the Woody Stevens. Straightened out for the first time in this race. What are any thoughts on the Pletcher contingent?
Well, I'll be honest. In the Woody Stevens, I loved that horse. I mean, I thought there's no way at 7 furlongs that this horse will get beat, and he really, for whatever reason, had nothing. That was his first loss, and not only had first loss, he's never lost a race by less than 4 lengths, and going into that, so you almost have to cross the line through that. He's a lot better horse than he showed that day. The true test will be going the mile and 8. He's never even gone over a mile, but he is out of Super Saver.
Right.
So you got to think mile and 8 will be just fine. He's a lot better than we saw with Woody Stevens. I definitely think out of what we're going to see possibly in the Haskell, he's the challenger, I'd say, for Pharoah.
Definitely agreed there. Now, we'll see if we even get a field. I'm guessing it's going to be anywhere from a field of 5 to 7 horses. A couple of horses that we saw throughout the Derby Trail. One of them, Keen Ice, was just kind of one of those that plodded along and went through the motions. He's, I guess, the only one that we'll see. Top Clearance for Wayne Catalano takes his first step up in Stakes Company after breaking his maiden and also winning an allowance race. And then Mr. Jordan, Eddie Pleza Jr.'s entrant there, just won the Pegasus Stakes at Monmouth in preparation for this one. So, any thoughts on those guys?
Yeah, no, not at all. And it sounds like the last I heard before we got on this call, that Upstart would be joining now that they have raised the purse. Now he is going to be double entered in the Jim Dandy, which we'll talk about. But that's really, again, Upstart. I don't see a whole lot there now. He's a lot better horse again than we saw in the Kentucky Derby.
Agreed.
But I think there's American Pharoah, and then there's the rest down below.
Everybody else down at the bottom.
Yeah.
So I think me and Jared are both in agreement that American Pharoah is definitely going to be the one that everybody has to beat.
Now, I do think that if you are a Pletcher fan and you are a Competitive Edge fan, if he is in this race, this would be a great time to bet him because his odds are going to be great, because Pharoah obviously is going to go off probably 1 to 9.
So definitely one to use in the exotics. I think Catalano's taking his first step up. I'm kind of curious about him, that Top Clearance. So we'll see who ends up completing the trifecta, we'll say, in that race. Now another race that's going to be happening Friday, which also features perhaps at least one horse or 2 horses that are actually in consideration for the Haskell. Both Tecton is entered for Tony Dutrow, and local connections, Oaklawn connections there with Shortleaf Stables. John Ed Anthony is a Hot Springs guy, and actually made 2 starts here at Oaklawn, but failed to hit the board in both of those. But Stanford for Pletcher is also considering the Haskell as well. I do believe Stanford probably will end up at Saratoga. And Tommy Macho will probably be the favorite in this race. But another horse in the Curlin is King of New York, who we got to see here at Oaklawn. He has done very well since leaving Oaklawn. Actually won an allowance race, 2 starts back on the turf, and then we last time saw him in the American Derby over at Arlington Park. So makes the switch back over to dirt. Any thoughts about the Curlin, Jared?
Yeah, the Curlin's an interesting one. We were actually last year, the winner of the Curlin, VE Day, went on to win the Travers. So it kind of gives a little more credibility, I think, to the race and a little more of a stepping stone for the Travers. It's tough right now with a lot, like you kind of mentioned. You have a lot of double entered, triple entered, even horses in this race. So you really don't know. I think if I believe that the other Pletcher, Tommy Macho, I believe this is where they'll run him. If so, I think he's going to be tough. I'm going to go ahead and cancel out that Dwyer the last time out.
Right.
If he, I don't know what that was, because last time before that at mile 16th, he showed that he's got plenty left in the tank and just really beat that allowance field easily. I think if he brings that race here, obviously Castellano back on board for the 3rd straight time is a good sign. I think if he brings that race, this one will be tough to beat.
Agreed. So we're definitely on the same page. Tommy Mancho, kind of the one to beat in the Curlin, which is Friday, goes off as race 4 over at Saratoga. Now another race that everybody's going to kind of be taking a look at is also the West Virginia Derby. Again, Tecton. Tony Detro's got that one entered, but the favorite in this race is going to be Pletcher's horse, Made from Lucky. I think he was made 3-1 Morning Line. We got to see him here at Oaklawn when he ran in both the Rebel and the Arkansas Derby, finishing 2nd in the Rebel and 4th in the Arkansas Derby. Has since came back and won the Peter Pan in preparation for the Belmont Stakes, where he finished 6th, of course, behind Triple Crown winner American Pharoah.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about this one?
Well, if there's any horse in the country that's happy to see a field that doesn't include American Pharoah, it's got to be this one.
Yes.
Because when American Pharoah's in the field, the horse runs, might okay, but definitely is not going to win the race. And then the last several races when Pharoah wasn't entered in the race, including the Peter Pan, which was the grade 2, the horse won and looked great. So definitely this horse has got a good shot. Anytime Pletcher ships to somewhere like Mountaineer, you've got to, you can't not take that into consideration. But I do wonder just about the grind that the horse has been on.
Right.
Relative to some of the other ones in this field, that you almost think that the horse might not have a lot of gas left.
Now, one of those to kind of consider is, I would say, number 8, Bent on Bourbon, who we saw last time out.
Yes.
Winning the Iowa Derby for Eddie Keneally. Actually, this horse was in the barn of Kellen Gorder and made the move over to Eddie Keneally's barn. And since then has won 3 races back to back to back. Has really stepped up and conquered each one in impressive fashion. He's by Arch out of the Seeking the Golden Mare. I think he's shown that he's really stakes quality.
Yeah, especially this kind of stakes race. The Iowa Derby. I view the Iowa Derby and the West Virginia Derby like this one to be pretty close level. And he showed that he was a solid horse in the Iowa Derby for this kind of competition. So I definitely would consider him to be one of the one. 5-1 is a good price too.
Yeah, so and one horse that we also talked about before our call today is actually, we talked about Dallas Stewart's Tel Aviv, who actually ran 2nd at Pimlico in the Preakness to American Pharoah. All these guys facing American Pharoah at some point in time.
Yeah.
He finished 7th behind, though, Pharoah in the Belmont Stakes. Now, this is his first race since then. Dallas always seems to have them firing at a price. Now he's 4-1 Morning Line, so you won't get much of a price, and gets Robbie Alvarado in the saddle for the first time for this start. Another one to at least keep in your top 3, I guess, in your exotic plays.
Yeah, I don't know. He's a frustrating one to me because it's really, you look at the Preakness and you say, well, you got finished 2nd to American Pharoah, but other than that, besides breaking his maiden at Keeneland, what has this horse done that gets, I get that, running 2nd in the Preakness is great, but, obviously didn't show much in the Belmont. A lot of people thought he might be a wise guy horse in the Belmont. Didn't do anything there, but, he's one of those that if you leave off, you'll probably be kicking yourself, and if you play, you might be kicking yourself too. So
exactly.
He's a frustrating one. One other horse I wanted to at least mention as far as the price goes, the number 7 horse, Iron
Just
Fist.
looking at that one, yeah.
This is one that's trained by Holdorfer, shipping to Mountaineer. Mike Smith makes the trip here, folks. So that's always, I mean, anytime he comes to Mountaineer, I'd say that's solid. And one thing that to think about is you might not think this horse has faced American Pharoah like the others, but he actually has. Back when American Pharoah won the Del Mar for Charity, this horse finished third to Calculator, and then American Pharoah, of course, won. So he actually has been familiar with American Pharoah, and he did actually ship with American Pharoah, I read. So just here recently. So at 10-1, Mike Smith Holdorfer, it's hard to believe that would be a price that you'd get, but that's a great, I mean, he's winner of the last two. I give him a shot.
I'm definitely there with you. I actually had him marked on my picks right here. I go, why would he ship all the way to Mountaineer from California if he didn't mean business? So
yeah.
Mike Smith, a Hall of Famer, he knows how to ride him and he knows what he's doing. Now, another race that we've got for Saturday at Saratoga is the Jim Dandy, and they took entries today with a field of 7, and again a couple of horses are repeat entrants compared to some of our other races. Obviously competitive edge, Texton, and then depending on what happens with Upstart, all entered for this race. But some other horses that we have seen here recently, Texas Red, who just made his first start since February in the Dwyer. He was second there. Ran in the San Vicente out in Santa Anita, trying to get ready for the Derby, just didn't happen for him. And then Japan, who is highly regarded from the Bill Mott barn, and then Fermento, who also faced off against American Pharoah in both the Kentucky Derby and Belmont. What do you think, Jared?
Well, I tell you what, we had the privilege of being there on Belmont Day to see Pharoah win the Triple Crown, but the Easy Goer was ran that day as well with Japan, and we were right on the rail for that race, and I remember exactly after that race, I thought, man, that horse is one you want to mark down for future reference. He ran a great race that day, and this guy is fast. I mean, he's got very good tactical speed, and then when it comes down the stretch, he can run. I'm torn because Bill Mott, and I love Bill Mott, and it seems like as they continue to progress, they'll only get better. This is one I would definitely not leave off. I'm not going to play as my win pick here, but no way would I leave this horse off any of my bets.
I would agree with that. Fingers crossed for Minto at least gets in the top 3, because I've got a yearling by him.
There you go.
He's another one that I think is kind of been like Keen Ice. He's been there for all the big shows, just hasn't really showed up, we'll say. But hopefully, yeah, I think it's Japan hands down for this race. And depending on who ends up staying in here, probably Frosted, we'll see him stay, my guess. Second in the Belmont, and then 4th in the Kentucky Derby. Karen McLaughlin's always had high hopes for him as well. So we'll see what he shows up with for this race.
Yeah, I'd say those connections are definitely going to stay. I don't want any part of visiting with American Pharoah until they have to. So I think Frosted, to me, especially if competitive edge ends up running in the Haskell, I think Frosted will be the one to beat here. He has that off-the-pace kind of style, and they're with a lot of speed in this race. I think he's going to be, it's all about how they come back, after the Triple Crown Trail. How do they come back after a little bit of a rest? So it seems like, I have faith in McLaughlin. I think Frosted, it seems like he's been training really well. So that's going to be my pick. As far as Texas Red goes, I'm going to have to let him beat me.
Yeah.
Because I like the horse. I want so badly for him to win, and then we get a matchup between him and Pharoah in the Travers. That would be amazing. But he hasn't shown much yet for me to be like, okay, I got to pick him here. So
he's a wait-and-see type horse.
Yeah.
Now, you just hit on something, the Travers, which is August, 29th.
I believe so, yes.
Do you think we will see American Pharoah there?
Yeah, I do. If everything goes as planned Sunday in the Haskell, then I think there's no reason why you wouldn't, as owners, you wouldn't want to, who wouldn't want to complete the Haskell Travers, double? I don't think it's ever, it's never happened. It rarely happens. It never happens with Triple Crown horses. So, that would be amazing to see. And that's where the Haskell is kind of the prep. the Travers, especially if we see a performance out of Frosted or something big, Texas Red, if he performs well in Jim Dandy, then it kind of sets up the stage for a matchup again for American Pharoah. I think the Travers might be one of the tougher races that Pharoah will have for the rest of the year, because I think that one could be stacked.
There you go. You heard it from the man himself. Alrighty, so best bet, I guess, best playing race we can confirm, I guess, is the West Virginia Derby, right? That's the one you can, definitely got some price plays in there, and definitely going to have a full field of horses. Cinch bet this weekend. Can we confirm American Pharoah? Definitely.
Yes, I mean, not much of a price, but cinch bet, yes, American Pharoah.
Okay, well, Jared and his partner in crime, Aaron, will both be at the Jim Dandy this weekend, and also will be at the Haskell this Sunday at Monmouth Park. He'll have all the latest and greatest at your, Twitter, Facebook? Where can fans check in at?
You can go to racingdudes.com, which is where we have all our free picks and things like that, articles. Follow us on Twitter at racing_dudes. We'll be on we're on Facebook, all the social media pages. We'll be posting like crazy. We're at Saratoga Friday and Saturday, then we shoot down to Monmouth for Sunday for the Haskell. So we'll be all over it.
And hopefully Oaklawn Anywhere players, we will have many more videos like this, just so you can get a little extra insight into the great racing that we offer every day here at Oaklawn Anywhere. So it was great. First time, Jared, I think successful with all the technicalities, and look forward to many more with you.